Hey everybody, here we go. Last day of the STAAR review. This is day 9. We're on page 30. And this one should be a pretty quick and easy one. So let's get it done so you can start preparing a little bit, making sure you're prepared for the STAAR test on Monday. Okay, so here we go. Number 1. Which number line shows the best approximation of the square root of 220? Now, when we took this test, I don't think y'all were using calculators, so hi, Mr. Calculator. Let's have you help me with this question. So, second square root 220 is 14.8. So then I look on here for one that's just a little bit under 15, so that looks like it's probably it. That's too big, way too big. There we go, 14.83, answer A. Number 2, which list of numbers is in order from greatest to least? Again, the biggest issue with these is actually doing the biggest one first and then going down to the smaller one. So since all the numbers in each answer are the same, I'm actually going to do these out to the side. So 10 over 3, if you actually put that in your calculator, you're going to get 3.3 repeating. That means that 3 is going to keep going. Pi is 3.14, and that one keeps going, but that's probably enough as far as comparing. The next one, 3.5, well, that's just 3.5. 3.50 might help. And the last one, 3 2/5. Okay, the 2/5 is 0.4, so that one is 3.40. So again, we look greatest to least. So the biggest one of these should be first. So this one should be first. This one should be second. This one should be third, and pi should be last. And as I glance over here, I already see that one's got pi last. 3.5 first, 3 2/5, and then that one, so it is answer H. Alright, number 3. Mr. Pacina asked the students to write the numbers shown in order from least to greatest, and then said, Paola thinks the numbers are already in order, Saul thinks they should be reversed. Who is correct? Well, we got to figure out what these are. So 10.08, we don't have to do much to. The square root of 113 is 10.63. Since this goes out to two numbers, I'm going to do this out to two numbers, and that should be enough. And then 112 divided by 11, 112 divided by 11 is a little bit over 10, 10.18. So that's this one here. So they're not in order. And if you reversed them, they're not going to be in order either. The least one is this one, but this one is second, and this one is third. So we want to look for an answer that says neither one of them is right. Paul's correct? No. Both students are correct. Neither student is correct because the correct order is 10.08, that one. So there is our answer. Answer D. Okay. Alright, number 4. A Venn diagram like the one shown below can be used to classify real numbers. To which set does the number square root of 64 belong? Well, if we didn't know the square root of 64, it would go here in irrational numbers. Again, irrational are ones you don't know the square root of, like square root of 13, you don't know that by heart. So, since we know the square root of 64 is 8, it's also negative 8, if you remember that, because 8 times 8 is 64, and negative 8 times negative 8 is also positive 64. So that one would fit in the whole number section, which means it's a whole number, it's an integer, and it's rational. So real, well, they're all real, rational, and integer, but that one doesn't include whole numbers. So answer G is all of those. Alright, number 5. The difference between the square roots of a number is 24. What is the number? Well, if we look at all these, the only one that we probably should recognize is this one. Okay, this is irrational, this is irrational. None of these have whole number square roots. So again, we should know that the square root of 144 is 12, but it's also negative 12. Okay, because again, if I multiply 12 times 12, I'll get 144. But if I do negative 12 times negative 12, I will also get 144. And these two numbers, guess how far apart they are? They're exactly 24 apart, so our answer is A. Alright, number 6, Mrs. Smith asks her students to determine the greater value of the fractions. So we got negative 33 over 30 and negative 53 over 50. Now if I simplify these, I would get negative 1 and 3/30ths, which is also negative 1 and 1/10. And this one I would get negative 1 3/50. Okay, negative 1 3/50. So if I compare these, this one is negative 1 5/50. So now I can look at these the same way. Well, again, they want to know which one is greater. Well, you would think this one's greater, but again, when the numbers are negative, the bigger they look, the smaller they are. So this one looks bigger, means it's actually smaller. So this is the greater value. But I can't write this as a fraction, so I need to change this to a decimal. And again, luckily you've got your calculator, but if we did this the right way, we'd change the 3/50 to 6/100, which means it's negative 1 6/100. So that's what it would be. And I'd have to put in the negative sign, 1.06, which, again, that is what you would get if you put this in the calculator, just so you see the right way to do it here. We would do 53 divided by 50, 1.06, and just remember that is a negative, so that's how that one would work. Alright, number 7. The table below shows Alejandro's monthly expenses. Which list shows the expenses in order from greatest to least? So we're looking for the biggest one first. The better way to do all these, when they're in percentages and fractions and decimals, is change them all, probably to a decimal is easiest. So 26% is 0.26, 2/10 is 0.20, 41% is 0.41, 11 hundredths, again that would end in the hundredths place, and this is 2 hundredths. Okay, so again, then we look greatest to least. So the biggest one's going to be his rent. So rent should be first, which cancels out those two answers. After that should be his car, so that should be second. And they both have cars second, so that didn't help us much. The third one should be food, car, utilities. So this is our one. Rent, cart, food, utilities, fourth, and other is fifth. Alright, number 8. The area of a square garden is 200 square feet. Between which two integers is the length of one side? So it's the square, it has an area of 200, and really we're just looking for the square root of 200. So second square root 200 is 14. So square root of 200 is 14.1, which means it fits between 14 and 15. Number 9, which of the following is not true? Okay, first things first, we need to remember what these mean. Greater than, less than. Okay, so is 3 times pi greater than 9? Yes, because pi is bigger than 3. It's 3.14, so this would have to be bigger than 9. It'd be something like 9.42, so that one is true. 6 minus the square root of 25. Well, we should know the square root of 25 is 5. So this 6 minus 5 would make it 1 on this side. So is 1 less than 11 tenths? Yeah, that's 1 and 1/10. So that one's also true. The square root of 102 plus 4. Well, I got to do that in the calculator, and I can actually do that all at once. I can do the square root of 102. Whoops. Go back. Plus 4. And that's probably not right, so I'm going to go back, and this calculator might work different than the other one, so I'm going to do that again. Square root of 102, I'm going to find that first. Second, square root 102, enter, and then add 4 to that. So I got 14.09, and then 29 divided by 2, well that's 14.5, which is 14.5. So is this one greater than this one? No, this should be turned the other way, so it's answer C. And the last one, which number below is an irrational number? Remember, an irrational number is kind of crazy. It means it's a square root that you don't know the exact answer. So this is definitely not irrational. That's 5.40. This one, again, 15.7. I don't know the square root of that. I know the square root of 81 is 9 or negative 9. So that's not it. Those are all good little numbers, but this one would be weird. The square root of this would be like 11 who knows? I could put it in the calculator. 11.1 maybe, but it's an estimate. Anytime we have to estimate or make an estimate, that means it's irrational. So Answer J. All right, there we go. Day 9, the final day of your star review. Hope you're ready to go. And I'm going to turn this around. Let's see, can I just turn it? And hopefully I'm on the screen there. So good luck. Hopefully all these 9 days have helped you. And you're going to be ready for the test. Get all that good rest. Get a good breakfast. Don't do anything stressful this weekend. But and definitely don't try to study either. I mean, hopefully you're remembering some of the stuff we've been doing. And you're prepared. And it's just a refresher. So just a little bit of going over some stuff should help. So hopefully that works out for you. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. All right.